By virtue of your right of being born a human being, you have an immediate connection with your environment. And that cannot be purchased. You cannot purchase liberty. You can't purchase the inalienable activity that accompanies every human being. We don't need a law to say that we can speak freely. We know that from within ourselves because you can feel the pain and you can feel the restriction of being silenced. You don't need a government to tell you, oh, you know you can speak if you like. Everybody feels that pressure and that pain of not being able to clearly share or freely share what they want to say. So with the NDAA and all this ties together, with the NDAA, right in the face of the First Amendment is a real slap in the face. Because what you're saying is that we can still say what we want to say, but if you deem it terroristic, you can now detain us indefinitely. But how is this an act of participation within the powers of the First Amendment? How is that? Because that's a blatant contradiction that they serve it to us to see if we're going to accept it or not. It's not about being violent. It's not about being non-violent. What it's about is always challenging when the system is out of place. Never stay silent on that. You got every time they trip and move to the side, to the left a little bit, you got to step right in there and say, excuse me, sir. Now here's the thing, little insert. Here's the thing. When you go inside these doors, you can't go with emotion and rage. You got to have some substance behind it. So grab your book, a magazine, however the universe talks to you, and be prepared to talk with your opponent, adversary, in a language that not only you understand, but he understands as well. Okay? We have to do this called preparation. You know what I'm saying? Just being prepared. Of course, everybody in America can run inside Congress and say something from an emotional standpoint. But when you bring truth, facts, and relevant information, which is three of my favorite principles, you can't be defeated. Nothing can stop you. When you bring truth, facts, and relevant information, who can stop you but the universe itself? Because that's where it all comes from. You can't stop truth. You can't stop facts, relevant information, and they all line up together. You can't be stopped. So I mean, that is the essence, to reconnect with our natural right to occupy the land, to live in accordance with nature. Whenever you try to live opposed to nature, you're going to have problems. It wasn't the Vikings' fault that they didn't calculate the fact that their growing seasons were cut in half because of the climate that they were exposed to, which Ivan Van Sertima says caused them to develop a life of plundering and pillaging. Because when the ice cap would come, now their crops can't grow. So how are they going to eat? So they have to venture forward in order to find food. So all of these anomalies we have. You have human sacrifices over in the east. From where I come from, you got people killing children, sacrificing people to foreign gods and things of that nature. Down in the south, what is known as South America, you had them performing human sacrifices and religions and spiritual systems that seem really anti or antagonistic.
And
real life.
And there's rituals going on every day. I mean, just like you said about the sacrifices, rituals going on. I mean, we don't know it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we're just not aware.
We're not aware, but there's rituals going,
Yeah, and we have a natural right to this land. Now watch this. Now here's where I was telling Mark in the car, this is where the power come in. When you look at a map, none of the countries look the same.
Yeah.
Asia looks different from Australia. I mean, they're distinctive. And so will the people that you meet as you move towards solving a problem. Everybody not going to look alike. Everybody not going to talk alike. But if you all can ascend to the understanding that there is a problem to be fixed, then we can move past. We can move past these barriers that have been put in place to cause division. That is why we don't have natural possession of the land. Because all of the tribes of the world are separated by the politics that man has brought in to control the masses. That's what I mean. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're not seeing it, and we have to wake up right now because it's steady declining. Morality is declining. The operation of politics is declining. Health is declining. The environment is declining. Everything we look at on the list is on a decline.
Yeah.
Nothing's on the ascension. So therefore, we have to wake up and fix the problem. Hey, Mr. Dorf. All right. We got to wake up and fix the problem. That's what it was. I ain't been to sleep in 2 days. That's how I do. And look, that's how I did it the first night of 15. Aggressively. For what? What?
That's what's up.
That's why I love that brother right over there so much, because Vic reminded me when we were revising the codes of ethics and conduct that we have to think about the humanity, the humanness, and it's our human rights. When he reminded the mayor of the Declaration of Human Rights, that was a bolt he sent over across that table. It was a thunderbolt. Yeah. He shouted out, I said, "Good Lord." And that's something that's very important. Human rights. Because when we move past the systems of color that have been created to divide us, and when we move past the financial obstacles that we face, and when we judge one another by our net worth as opposed to our natural worth. You judge people by the money they make as opposed to them being a visible replica of you. Just a different type and a different color. So what's the problem in that? Right? If a man from China came over here and sawed off a tree limb and loved it and wanted it, he had that right because nobody has ownership. He owns that tree just as well as I do. Just as well as you do. Just as well as Jeremy do. Everybody out here got a say in it. We all own this. How do you charge a man?
How do you
create a system where you charge a man to live on dirt that he didn't even make? Come on, man.
And we got a right to speak about that.
I'm trying to tell you.
We got a right. We got a right to say that.
I'm trying to tell you.